While it hasn't even been a full year since we last examined the all A220 fleet of airBaltic, our recent review with the airline CEO Martin Gauss revealed a lot about the state of the Latvian carrier. Since our last video about the airline's fleet, we've seen the addition of another 5 A220-300s, pushing the number of jets from 34 to 39. The airline is expecting more jets in the near future, and so we can't expect this number to be accurate by the time you see this. The carrier is certainly happy with the type, despite the supply chain issues its engines are now encountering. With these challenges, as well as a few exciting announcements, let's spend today's video examining the airBaltic fleet in 2023. Well, in terms of airline fleet composition, there's really not much to say that hasn't already been mentioned in our introduction. The airline took delivery of a total of 7 A220-300s over the course of 2022, 5 since the publication of our 2022 airBaltic fleet video in April 2022. At the moment, the airline's average fleet age sits at an extremely youthful 3.2 years, having chosen the clean-sheet Airbus A220-300 and ex-Bombardier CS-300 as its one and only type. As we mentioned in last year's video, the airline said goodbye to its 12-8-400s and final 4 Boeing 737-300s in March 2020, clearly a result of the pandemic. So, with a relatively slow delivery rate and a single-type fleet, what could possibly be new about airBaltic compared to last year? Quite a bit, actually. We can start with the good news first and discuss the airline's newly announced deal with SpaceX and its Starlink product, a deal that'll see complimentary high-speed internet for all passengers on all flights. Indeed, this internet will be fast enough for every passenger to watch video streaming services like Netflix simultaneously. The evolution of the low Earth orbit market has been spearheaded by SpaceX and its ever-growing Starlink constellation. December 2022 saw Starlink hit a major milestone, with more than 1 million subscribed users benefiting from the service. Most of these are domestic US users, but last June SpaceX received permission from the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, to start using the system with moving vehicles, including ships, trucks, and airplanes. This is exactly how Latvia's airBaltic has been able to strike a deal with SpaceX. The airline is well known for doing things differently, from becoming the first to accept cryptocurrency as payment to being the first to operate only the Airbus A220. But now it'll be one of the first airlines to utilize Starlink and the first in Europe to sign up for the system. We actually caught up with CEO of airBaltic Martin Gauss to find out more about this latest bold decision. We first asked the airline CEO why airBaltic opted for this less-than-common solution from SpaceX. To this, Gauss responded,
"We were then looking at what alternatives are there for the future, and we identified Starlink or SpaceX Starlink system as something which would perfectly fit to airBaltic. It's new, it's much faster, and we have that spirit. We are a small company, so we turned to SpaceX and said, we would like to do that, and we would like to do this together with you. The team, SpaceX, the spirit there, Starlink, that is what we really like, because we have that spirit, that innovative spirit, and we just found a company which has that times 10. So it's amazing how these people there, the energy level they have and how they come up with innovations all the time. It's the perfect fit for us, and we really like this cooperation because at the end of the day, our passengers will have something very unique and something the world really needs, which is a high-speed internet while you're on board of an aircraft.
Gauss added that there was a benefit to SpaceX in partnering with airBaltic too. Being the world's largest operator of the A220, SpaceX could work towards getting the required permissions to use its system on a new aircraft type. Additionally, airBaltic is an airline that has extensive experience using the aircraft type, a win-win for both parties. But the good news doesn't stop there. The other benefit of Starlink for Gauss was the ability to offer it completely free of charge and with no sign-up required. Typical systems come with high costs for installation and data use, which then means passengers have to be billed to use the service. The Starlink offering was far more attractive, as Gauss explained.
Installation is very, very fast, will be done in-house, so it's not complicated. And then you walk on the aircraft and you will have all you do, and that is literally as simple. You walk on the aircraft and then you have you select the Wi-Fi, no password, and you have at all times high-speed internet access. You can do your Netflix, you can do all your social media stuff undisrupted.
Offering Wi-Fi for free is the ultimate goal of almost every airline out there with internet connectivity on board. Delta Airlines recently unveiled its free Wi-Fi offering, but passengers are still required to sign up as SkyMiles members to access the service. JetBlue has offered free Wi-Fi since 2013, but again, users are still required to register. By offering the service as an open Wi-Fi connection, airBaltic is breaking boundaries and making it easier than ever to stay connected in flight. But with no plans to charge for the service, what's the business case for investing in Starlink? On this topic, Gauss explained that it's all about differentiating airBaltic from the competition.
Because we always look of what is the need in the future. And what is really needed is the high-speed internet access without the complication. The business case behind it, there's a cost, of course, to us, but the business case behind it is purely based on the pickup of demand by passengers to choose that airline again because of the experience. We have that already because of the A220. The aircraft today is one of the reasons why we are chosen by passengers over other carriers, because of the quality of transportation. That quality goes up now by offering something everybody needs.
Prior to making the decision, airBaltic undertook in-depth research of its passengers to identify the benefits of fast and free Wi-Fi on board. The conclusion they came to was that it would be more beneficial not to commercialize the offering, but rather to leave it as a free perk to make the airline the first choice for passengers. One thing airlines have always struggled with is Wi-Fi speeds and maintaining those speeds no matter where they fly. Gauss noted that due to national regulations, there may be some areas where airBaltic will not be allowed to have the service active, but aside from that, the airline chief is confident that every passenger will be able to access fast and stable Wi-Fi throughout their flight.
On board the aircraft, there is a download speed of up to 350 megabits per second. To give an idea, so if everybody on board would want to watch Netflix at the same time, if you have around 1 megabit per second, you can still watch Netflix. So we have only 150 seats, so if we would go for a maximum download speed, would have that, and then every passenger could still easily watch Netflix. Gaming is possible, so we will not have the issue about the speed.
This good news comes with a little bit of bad news. For airBaltic, this in-flight connectivity can't come fast enough. The rollout will be swift, with in-house antenna fitting enabling the entire fleet to be outfitted rapidly. But the actual date for the service to go live is out of airBaltic's hands.
We target 23, but we cannot give an exact date, and the reason again is purely regulatory. It's not about the system not being available, the satellites are there, the system is functioning, it's functioning on aircraft already, but we need to get permission for the A220 300, which we will be doing together with Airbus and SpaceX.
So we'll just have to wait to see how this regulatory process goes and report on any big changes at simpleflying.com. Now that we've covered the happier news, let's look at where the airline is facing some challenges. As the world's only Airbus A220 operator, airBaltic is operating a crowd-pleasing service. But when something goes wrong with the A220, it suffers the impact more acutely than most. As Gauss notes, the airline is dealing with one particular problem that caused headaches last summer and will again this year.
We still have these teething issues of the engine, which is also all over the news. But that is something caused by the supply chain issues that is not only causing our engines, that's all over the world. And we're dealing with it. And we will see this also this year. putting a little bit of a shadow on the A220.
Overall, Gauss has been very impressed with its performance. Its extensive range, highly fuel-efficient operations and passenger satisfaction are all delivering as they should. But what's the issue with the engines that's holding it back from performing to its full potential? Well, the airline CEO explained that due to lifetime limited parts in the engines, at various intervals in the A220's lifetime, they need to be removed from the airplane. The engines are taken off the wing and shipped to a specialist MRO provider to change the parts. Right now, this is not happening as it should be.
Normally that would take, let's say, an average of 90 days to have the engine from the wing, ship it. And for that you have a spare engine, and that spare engine is then coming onto the wing before you then get the engine back. And that process now, instead of 90 days, takes 8 months.
The problem is, with the whole process taking an extended amount of time, there just aren't enough spare engines to keep the fleet flying. This, of course, is causing disruptions, something airBaltic managed to offset last summer with the induction of wet-leased aircraft from other airlines. While that enabled airBaltic to fly its schedule, Gauss noted that it didn't always go down well with passengers.
Then over time, your aircraft is on the ground without usable engines. And that is, of course, causing disruptions. And these disruptions are offset by taking in wet-leased aircraft from others. And that, of course, makes the passengers unhappy who fly on the most modern aircraft, especially our customers. And then they suddenly come on an aircraft which is not ours.
Last summer, airBaltic wet-leased 5 airplanes from other airlines, reaching a peak of 6 in the height of the summer. Right now, this is not a problem, as the airline has scaled back for the quieter winter period. However, it foresees the problem persisting into this summer season, as Gauss confirmed.
We will also have to have that situation this summer, as we are growing significant compared to last year, and the engine situation hasn't really changed. So the forecast is that we come back to a normal supply chain on the engine only in 2024. We had 6 aircraft in the peak summer flying for us from other airlines, and it was a mix of different airlines. We expect that this year the number could be the same, maybe even 2 higher. Final numbers depend on the engine delivery schedule, as we get also a lot of aircraft in this year.
So if you're flying airBaltic this summer specifically to experience the A220, maybe try to manage your expectations. Forecasts for all aviation operations in summer 2023 are already signalling disruption for passengers once again. While the industry has come a long way from its post-pandemic restart, there is still a way to go. airBaltic's experience just shows that it's not only airports and schedules that are being disrupted, but airline maintenance and repair work too. Nevertheless, Gauss remains incredibly happy with the A220 and is looking forward to things getting back to normal, hopefully in 2024.
So the A220 is delivering, the engine is good, but the engine, when it comes off the wing and gets the lifetime limited parts get changed, or the engine gets upgraded, it just takes too long until it returns.
So those are the 2 big pieces of news associated with airBaltic. The airline continues to be the poster child for A220 operations and has likely provided inspiration for other airlines of a similar size or smaller. While no connection has been made explicit, we can imagine Croatia Airlines would have studied airBaltic's situation before drafting up its own plans to become an all A220 operator by 2026. And with Delta Airlines recently converting more of its A220 options into firm orders, the next few years should be quite exciting for this little aircraft. Have you flown on an airBaltic A220 yet? Are you excited to hear that an airline is offering free, unlimited high-speed internet access on board without the need for any registration? Let us know by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.